And here we are, 11's baby betting. Here it goes. Bring them out, 11's baby. You know what it is. We're coming to you live and direct from New York, Poconos, and Virginia. We're going to talk about the Pennsylvania Derby. Not the highlight derby that we always see, but we have an interesting class of 3-year-olds this year to the likes of Curlin and Hard Spun. We have 3 major contenders. We're going to get into this. We have a 1.1 miles at Parx Racetrack. I'm going to kick it to Brother Glenn right now to give us some insight.
All right, yeah, we got the 1.1 miles Pennsylvania Derby going off Saturday. Post time 6:10. Probably the strongest field yet to see in a Pennsylvania Derby. Just a lot of good horses coming in there. This is a $1 million purse, running the 1.1 miles. 3 horses coming out of the Travers, bunch of horses coming from the Kentucky Derby. We got 11. There's probably 7 to 8 of them you could make a case for. So we'll just kick back and go over who we like in it, see if we can come up with some winners, just like we did in the Travers last time out. We're going to give it a go for you and give us our best bet. Dan hit it pretty good last time for the Travers. Maybe he'll get lucky again, but maybe I'll take him out this time. Let's see what we get.
We'll see. We'll see. I definitely had 1, 2, 3. I wished I put the money on it, but I didn't. And I definitely got some thoughts about what's going to go on today. But Dad, I know you got some thoughts about who's going to win this race. Where are you going with this?
Bob Baffert has the 8 horse, and he's coming in from California. Right? He ain't coming here for nothing. That's what Baffert usually does. Okay. The last time he came in from California with this horse, he was second at Monmouth. So I like him. But I like the 1 horse. I like Chad Brown's horse over there.
So you going 20 port dessert wine. That's almost a long shot. And you go Zandon.
No.
Who?
He got Tibia, or however they're saying that name.
Taba.
And the 8 and the 1, Zandon. That's the favorite.
Oh, okay. There we go. Thanks for dialing me in. My printer cut off the numbers.
We got it dialed in here.
Absolutely. But that's all right. So you're going Taba and Zandon? You don't feel Cyberknife's in the mix?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I like Tony Port.
I know you do. That's why I threw it out there.
I like Tony Port. I like the 7 horse too. Do I like the 5 horse? I only see 3 or 4 horses that can win this race, unless it explodes or whatever. But I only see 3 horses, 4 horses tops in this race.
All right. Be rad. Talk to me.
All right, I kind of agree with that. I agree with that
in the middle of the podcast. What's going on?
What's that? I agree with that. I think the 8's the favorite here. I think he can't, lost by a head nod in the Haskell. He's got the old man riding him, kind of preserved the horse all summer, only raced him in the dirt, raced him in the Kentucky Derby, raced him in the Haskell. It's giving this horse some nice breaks. So you know me, I'm going to try to beat that guy because I beat the favorites. And I'm going to slide in here with the 4 as my favorite beater, Skippy Longstockings.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
This horse has been running all summer, finding every derby, every competition that he's got to face. This is a tough horse here. He's in and around the mix every time. I think this may be the one for him. Come out, win the West Virginia Derby, stays kind of local here, going to the Pennsylvania Derby. So my pick is the 4. I like Skippy Longstocking to try to beat him. They think this horse is good, and they're putting him in everything they could possibly see. He was in, the Belmont, the Preakness, the Wood Memorial. They're trying to find a home for this horse. I think I think this may be his shot. I think the other horses may, you know, you got Cyberknife, you got, you know, Zandon. I think those two battle, you know, and I think this allows this 4 horse to slide in here. So I'm going to go with the 4. And then I'm probably so my bet will probably be the 4, and then box behind them the 8 and the 1, because I think those two are going to battle it out. I think this is a 4 to 5 horse field, so I think that's going to be my bet. I'm going with Skippy Longstocking because I like the name.
Skip on top.
Yep, Skippy
All
for the
right.
win.
All right, I'm going to get it in here if you guys don't mind. So I think there's a lot of grade 3 horses in this race, and any one of these great horses can win if they're having a nice day and the jockey's feeling right too. So Skippy Longstocking, We the People, Tony Port, Simplification, and White Abrio. I mean, these are all grade 3, and I say that with respect. If you put them in a grade 3 race, they're going to win every single one, unless they're racing versus each other. Now, I like the top 3. I like Zandon, I like Cyberknife, I like Taba. I'm really looking for this. With 11 horses in the field, you just don't know. Like Cyberknife got caught out in big fields before and fell into the back. That horse could definitely fall out. Any one of these players could fall out, and any one of those horses that I'm calling a grade 3 horse can stay up. There's just too much traffic. You don't know how it's going to go. But there's something interesting with Zandon here, right? Joel Rosario's on him. Every other race, Flavian Pratt's been on that horse. Now, if I were to pick one of the G3 horses in this field, I'm going to pick We the People. Why? Flavian Pratt's on that horse, and he's probably a little pissed off that he just got bumped off of Zandon for Rosario. And I'm pretty sure that's what they did, because they're trying. Chad Brown is trying to get a win with Zandon. Horse has been there all the time. Actually, Zandon almost took second place in the Travers. Cyberknife just had enough to stay up. Zandon was coming strong. I feel like, even though it's the one hole, I feel like Zandon, and Chad Brown with Joel Rosario, this combination, it has a lot of strength behind it. There's a lot of trainer jockey combinations here that are just great. I mean, doing Baffert, Mike Smith, how could you really go against that? It's almost like a guarantee. So my bet at the end of the day for this race is going to be Zandon, Taba, and Cyberknife, exacta box. That's what I'm doing. 3 horse exacta box. You choose the value. I think, you put a $5 exacta box on this, it doesn't cost you that much, and the payout could be large. Now, my long shot, like I said, if you just want to throw $10 on a horse or $5 win play show across the board on a long shot, I'm going We the People. And I think Flavian Pratt has a chip on his shoulder. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, if you look back at We the People, Flavian Pratt probably chose to ride that horse. He rode him 3 out of the last 4 races. So he probably jumped off thinking so still pointing to that being the better horse than Zandon, because he jumped off of Zandon to go to that horse. So,
maybe that's a take on it too. That's a really interesting insight. That's true.
And Joel Rosario broke maiden with Zandon. So they probably were scrambling around looking and say, hey, we know this guy's here. So why don't we see if he'll ride him? But
I mean, Rosario might be the best jockey in the country right now. And you're right. Last time Rosario was on him,
broke his maiden
first.
Yeah.
Broke his maiden. Either one of those situations could be true. Yeah. And either one have a lot of validity on why We the People could, pull out a win today.
Yeah.
Or today.
Saturday.
This weekend.
Saturday. Yeah.
What else we got?
All right, let me jump in now. So first of all, Brad, love the pick.
Joe taking pictures of you today?
No, he's upstairs watching the Yankees, trying to watch Aaron Judge hit number 61 tonight.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
Uh,
He ain't no Barry Bonds.
yeah, he might be better. He's about to win the
Hey.
Triple Crown. Ay,
Talking
ay, ay.
about two ball players that are just amazing hitters, just
Yeah.
freaking amazing.
All right, here we go. So Skippy Longstocking, love him. I agree with you, Brad. A tough horse, grinder. When he goes out to the breeding shed, if you're going to breed to a horse, you breed to him all day long. Why wouldn't you, right? Is he as good as these other horses in the field? We'll see. I mean, if the pace dictates right, he could probably get there. I'm not going to play him though. We the People, same thing. I think We the People's a little light, lightly on the races. That he was the favorite in the West Virginia Derby over there. Wound up finishing second. Again, I like your play on him, Dan. This is what it comes down to: the pace of
You
this
gotta have
race.
a big chip on your shoulder to win with that horse.
Well, the pace of this race, I'm expecting the 6 to go to the lead. Okay. If Flavian Pratt, this is only 1.1 miles, so this is going to suit every one of these horses in this race. Kentucky Derby's 1.25 miles. Travers is 1.25 miles. All these horses are probably set to run that 1.1 miles, 1/16 distance. So they're all going to be ready to go. So it's going to be that pace on the front end of that race. When you see that number click off in that opening quarter mile, if you see a 22-second pace, probably going to have a closer come from the back. If you see this guy up front and he's running a high 23, 24, and it's We the People up front, look out for him to stay there at 1.1 miles. Why not? If Flavian Pratt could dictate that pace up front, I don't know if they're going to let him do it. So this race is so hard to handicap because of that. They're so good. The pace is going to make the race. Baffert coming in. I'm gonna go ahead. I have him Cyberknife. I'm gonna play Cyberknife again. Baffert's horse says he's training crazy over there at Santa Anita. He's just clicking numbers over there. He's bringing the horse in. They say he's a handful to ride. So I don't know if this is Baffert's best horse he's ever bringing over here. I think he's a good horse. I don't think he's one of his greatest that I've seen before from Baffert. So I'm going to throw him out. I'm not going to take him at that 5-2 favorite. Hopefully the public bets him even down lower to make me happy. Because I'm going to try to beat him all day long. White Barrio is one of my favorite horses as a 3-year-old when they were coming through up at the prep races, the Kentucky Derby. He's fell off with trainer Joseph Saffie Jr. And he's got that Skippy Longstocking just dialed right in. So I go back to Skippy Longstocking as, yeah, man, he could do something. But I'm going to stick with Cyberknife. He's going to be there in the end. I'm going to take 20-point Port, We the People, Cyberknife, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do a $20 exacta box right in the middle of the race, the heart of the race. Hopefully we could do something right there with them. Zandon, great horse. He's probably, Chad Brown, again, this 1.1 miles, guys, it's just going to be tough. It's going to be a fun race to watch.
Absolutely.
Watch the pace, see what goes on with the pace. I'm going to go back to Cyberknife real quick. I wish they gave him a break here. I don't like him coming back. They say he's training lights out. That's why Brad Cox is bringing him back. But I really would like for him to have a rest, before the Breeders' Cup, freshen him up with something easy somewhere, get an easy win, and then go into that Breeders' Cup race running. He's just been clicking them off here lately, and he's running real well. I mean, he doesn't miss the board. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 5, 6, 7 box and see what happens.
Well, I got to say, he doesn't miss the board, except for in the Kentucky Derby when he came in 18th.
Yeah, draw a line through
it. I guess the reason why I won't throw a line through it is because this race has a lot of horses in it too. And I know the Derby had, 18 is a lot different than 11. Could the horse get caught up? Maybe. That's the one thing I'm worried about. Any horse getting caught up in the mix. It's so hard to say how things are going to play out. Obviously the Derby didn't play out the way most people had thought it would. All right, that's great, man. Great review, guys. I really trying to boil it down and where we're coming from, we're all a little all over the road on this one. I think that's why it makes this such a special Pennsylvania Derby. You got top-notch jockeys, top-notch trainers. These horses throughout the entire year have been killing it. And watch your White Barrier horse come in and steal the show.
Yeah,
After you wrote him off.
I think this race is four wide coming down the stretch.
Four
And
wide.
somebody's going to head bob it.
Just watch that pace, guys. I'm telling you, it's important. Pay attention to the pace of the race. That's what's going to make or break it, and that's what you're going to see. So,
Yeah. So rip your
Who
tickets
knows?
up halfway.
hey, we could have a repeat of the Kentucky Derby, and all these bad horses run out front fast as could be, and one of these knuckleheads wind up winning the damn race because of it. So don't think that can't happen.
Yeah,
I marked
absolutely can.
real quick. I marked one of these knuckleheads. The 3-horse. Doug O'Neill trains the horse. They paid $425,000 for the horse. It's a West Point Thoroughbreds horse. I think just because the owners have some money and everything, I think they just want to be in a fancy race, so they put him in here. But
Want to get some
trained by
paddock
Doug
pictures?
O'Neill. Expected a whole lot out of the horse. Ain't worth a damn, but who knows?
All right. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Took him
That's a
5
long,
races.
long shot.
Took him 5 races to break his maiden.
11s.